What's up, guys? So I thought I'd try something a bit different for you, and hopefully once a day, if I can, if I find the time, I really want to try and get in some Pokemon X and Y analyses for you guys. And so each day I'm going to be choosing Pokemon. Mainly, they're going to be Pokemon that I am looking to use in my battle. So they're really ones that I want to analyze. So I got a fair idea of how I want to use them and how you can use them. So it's really helpful, I guess, for you guys, if you really want to know how to use a certain Pokemon. So let's jump into it. So, sorry, maybe a problem there. So just a little index as to what we're going to be doing here. So this is the general index that's going to happen. So I'm going to tell you about what the featured Pokemon is. I'm going to give you its stats, the playing styles, checks and counters, good teammates, my preferred playing style that I'll use when I battle, and then just a general review of the Pokemon. So bear in mind that with stats, I haven't, with the Mega Evolutions, included their stats. For those, you can look them up on Cerebi or Smogon. I've just decided to go with the general stats because you can make a general assumption of the Pokemon from their stats. So the featured Pokemon, the first Pokemon I'm going to do for all my analyses, it's my favorite Pokemon in the game. Ever since I first saw it, I loved it, so I definitely wanted to start with Lucario. Yeah, you know it. So normally when I run Lucario, pretty much every time I run Lucario, he is my Mega. I've got a mate who, when Pokebanks comes out, is going to give me a perfect IV attacking Lucario, but for the meantime, it took me forever, but I bred a perfectly IV'd special attacking Lucario with Vacuum Wave. So I'm keen to give him a bit more of a run. I don't think you've seen him in any of my Wi-Fi battles. You might soon, hopefully. So yeah, and this is basically the Pokemon that I've been using a lot in Pokemon Showdown. So let's just get into the stats. So this is just the normal base stats. So pretty bad HP. He's got really good attack and special attack, but his defenses aren't that strong. So the real aim of Lucario is not to come in and take hits. His main aim is to get out there and just do some damage. That speed stat is actually, like, for Lucario, when I first saw his speed stat, I was a bit disappointed. I thought he was going to be, like, super quick, and you see him, like, in all the TV shows and shit, he's super quick, but he's only got a speed stat of 90, so that's a bit disappointing. Anyway, let's go into playing styles. So there's really two playing styles. You can either be a special attacking Lucario or a physically attacking Lucario. Now, I think that in this day and age, with the Mega Evolution having an extra 30... I think it's 30 in attack and special attack. I think it's worth it because it also gets adaptability. So that's what kind of pushes it above, the Life Orb set, is the fact that it gets adaptability. So really the only differences in the special attacking and physically attacking is the nature, just decreasing this stat, like the other attack or special attack that you don't want. The priority moves, so it's Bullet Punch on one side, Vacuum Wave on the other. The setup move, Nasty Plot, Swords Dance. The Fighting Stab, Close Combat, Aura Sphere. And lastly, I guess this is where I think the special attacking Lucario comes in handy. He gets Flash Cannon as well, whereas the physically attacking one already has Bullet Punch. So the last move slot is really a choice between Crunch or Ice Punch, in my opinion. Crunch becomes really good this gen because Steel doesn't resist it anymore. Which means that you can run into like Aegislashes, Jirachis, Bronzongs, and just absolutely tear through them. And even problematic Pokemon that might want to trap you, like a Magnezone, you can just rip through them with a Crunch if you switch in. I prefer the special attacking set, but I'll get to that later. So checks and counters to a Lucario. So Celebi, I said Jirachi, but then realized about Crunch. It depends if you run Crunch or not as Jirachi. Sableye as a prankster. Landorus Therian is a huge problem. So let's just go through these. So these are more like the general ones because most of the people out there, when they run their Mega Lucarios, they're going to be physically attacking. So Celebi really only fears, like, even if you nasty plot, Celebi doesn't really care. It can do wishes and stuff and just set up on Lucario. Only thing Lucario has to really hit this Celebi with on the offensive side is Crunch or Ice Punch, and on the specially offensive side, he's in even more trouble because really his only good attacking move to hit Celebi is Flash Cannon. Jirachi, if you're not running Crunch, this thing can be a problem because of the Eternal Flinch that could happen. You can easily beat this though by being faster, and if you are physically attacking Lucario, you just carry Crunch to basically OHKO it. And if you're especially attacking Lucario, you're still faster, so it gives you a chance to maybe set up a nasty plot, and then I'm pretty sure an Aura Sphere from there would kill it. Then there's Sableye. The reason Sableye is in here is more for the physically attacking set, because it has access to Prankster Will-O-Wisp. And if Mega Lucario, the physically attacking one, is burnt, that's going to leave a huge dent in your physical capabilities. So you're really going to watch out for that Sableye. So maybe carrying something that can take the Sableye hit, or carrying a Cleric that can help your Lucario out. So Landorus Therian, he is a real problem to either Lucario set. Lucario physically, the physically offensive set, does have Ice Punch to counter it, but these Landoruses these days are normally Scarfed, which can be a huge problem, and so EQ is going to kill you easily. And because it has Intimidate, it drops that attack stat down as well. So really got to watch out for that, and make sure you have a good counter for that. Quagsire. A lot of people don't realize how bad Quagsire can be as a problem to Lucario. It has the ability Unaware, I think Unaware, yeah, where when a Pokemon attacks Quagsire, the stat boosts of that Pokemon are eliminated, so they still exist on the Pokemon, but they don't affect the damage done to Quagsire. So basically, Lucario can set up all the sword dances in the world, all the nasty plots. It does nothing to Quagsire, and then Quagsire can just 2KO with Earthquake. So Quagsire can be a real problem for both sets, because the physically offensive has to go with a close combat and then risk the EQ next turn killing it, and the specially offensive set has to go with the Aura Sphere and then hope for the 2 KO. But Quagsire, I think, has a bit more special defense. I'm not sure, but it's a threat. It's a real problem to both sets of Lucario, so you've got to find a way of dealing with the big old Quagsire. What a dirt face. Anyway, the last threat is Salamence, and physically offensive can deal with it with Ice Punch, but again, Choice Scarf Moxie Mence is a very good choice for a Pokemon, and I would definitely run it if I had the chance. I might breed a Salamence with Choice Scarf and Moxie just because I can, and it'd be a bit fun. And the reason that it does is because Intimidate will drop your physical attacker's stat, and the special attacking set doesn't really have anything that hits it hard other than Flash Cannon, and then it can just come through with an EQ and take it out. So definitely some problems there that you have to watch out for, and we're going to try and come up with now some good teammates. So really, a lot of these teammates are more for the fact that with a Lucario, you want to try and go in when someone's like locked into maybe a dark type move. So the reason we've got these guys in here, so Gengar, Slowbro, and Latios, they are in here to try and lure in something to use a dark type move, and that sends in Lucario. And if Lucario can take any hit from that guy, that gives you a chance to do your one setup move. And you may only get one chance in a battle, guys, to set up with this Lucario. So you got to choose that moment wisely. Now, Gengar is really good as well because he eliminates Aegislash, which is a huge threat. Because, you know, if he's sashed, he can take a Shadow Sneak from that Aegislash and then rip off a Shadow Ball, which would hopefully kill it. Slowbro is a great partner for Lucario because Lucario's biggest threats are a lot of physically offensive moves, and Slowbro eats those up, and with Regenerator can come back in and take hits for days. I'm actually really keen to make a Slowbro with Regenerator, so I'm definitely going to get onto that, and hopefully it has Regenerator, not as a hidden ability, because then I can get it. I don't know if I can get it any other way. So Salamence is a good thing and a bad thing against Lucario. He's a really good teammate for Lucario because he can scare off other choice Salamences, because he can come in with the Moxie when they go for the EQ, and then that's going to scare off their Salamence. And also he can just take most of the hits that are super effective against a Lucario. You're looking at your Fire-type moves, your Earthquakes, so he's a really solid switch-in. So I talked about how Latios and Latias are more like the Pursuit Trappers. They can try and get the Pursuit users in, like a T-Tar, which is also not really a counter. It's a good teammate as well. I'll get to that. So you want to bring in Latios and Latias because they also have levitate, which means that those earthquakes are going to do jack shit, and then you can go with like a choice specs Draco Meteor if you're going up against Salamancers locked. So on to T-Tar. The reason he's really good for this team is because he's really good with Lucario. He won't be able to take the Earthquake, but one thing that he can do really well is just absolutely scare off like Aegislashes and Ghost Threats, because Aegislash does have Sacred Sword, but he doesn't want to take any necessary damage from a T-Tar. And with T-Tars packing a lot of heat, I wouldn't risk it. And knowing a lot of the counters, T-Tar handles them quite well. And the last one is Terrakion. The reason Terrakion is so good is because he can come in and basically the reason that the last two guys, T-Tar and Terrakion, are good is because they can clear a lot of Pokemon out. Like Terrakion definitely. T-Tar can set up rocks, which is just going to help Lucario, Oko, those Sash users. And Terrakion can just smash through anything. So some nifty teammates there just to try out. So here's my preferred playing style. I go with a specially attacking set. I have him with adaptability, obviously, because he's going to hold a Lucario Knight. He's going to be timid-natured, 252 attack, 252 speed, 4 HP, and just a classic moveset that I've shown you in the past that I use on Anubis. I probably won't call my Lucario in the actual game Anubis when I get my capture card. I'm just going to call them just by their normal names. I like using nicknames on Showdown, but I don't want to just keep going back to the name radar if I want to change the nickname. I'm just going to keep them with their original names. So this is Lucario I like to run, obviously Mega Lucario, and this is probably the one that I'll be running in my actual team. And I'm really happy with this set. He's won me many a battle just coming in and absolutely annihilating everything. Once he gets up a nasty plot, there's not a lot that can beat it unless it has priority or choice scarf. So just to kind of review this Lucario, I love this thing. It's my favorite Pokemon, and when I got a Mega Evolution, I knew that I just had to make the most of this Mega Evolution. So he's definitely my favorite Pokemon in my team. When I bring him out, I just know he's going to do some damage. I have rarely ever sacked Lucario, a couple of times when it's been necessary, but he is one of the ones that I never really want to sack. And because I know that how good he is, that Vacuum Wave, they never predict the Vacuum Wave. Like, I've had so many people ask me what Vacuum Wave is, because I don't realize that Lucario gets a special attacking priority, which is gold. There are barely any special attacking priorities in the game, so it is a really good move to have on it, because you can Aura Sphere, but you don't want to be like EQ by a Mammoth 1. You want to try and get off that Vacuum Wave on the Swine to get rid of it. So, that's basically it for this review. I just wanted to ask you guys for a little bit of a question. I am probably going to be replacing Rotom in my team with Slowbro, most likely, because I want to change up my wall system. So Rotom I do like, but I just want to change him up. Bring in that Slowbro, who's a better partner for the rest of my team. And once I do that, though, the problem is that I can't really run Mandibuzz and Ferrothorn as defensive pivots. I need to choose one. So I think that I want to keep Mandibuzz, and that means that I need to choose something else. And it needs to be something that can set up rocks. So I'm really liking the look of a T-Tar, which could be really handy. So give me your thoughts as to the kind of last Pokemon, a Pokemon that you think defensively, kind of as like a special defensive unit, could work really well with Mandibuzz and Slowbro. So, you know, give me your opinions, and yeah, I will take them on board and really try them and test them out on Showdown, hopefully. Get a few more videos up with Slowbro and some friends. So we'll see what happens. And I hope you really like these battle analyses. I'm going to get hopefully one up a day. But as I said, I'm not going to be able to do too many coming up because I'll be super busy. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this one. And if there's any Pokemon you want me to analyze, just let me know. Just put a comment there. Feel free to really subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have more followers because I really want to, you know, get the support of you guys so I can do more great videos. So yeah, Verdugo29, and stay cool, guys. Stay cool.